Well, hello and welcome back to Classic and Sports Car Centre near Malton. Please forgive the slightly casual appearance. I've been getting my hands dirty today preparing one of my own cars, an old Armstrong Siddeley for the summer when we eventually escape this lockdown. The subject of this video is a 1960 Austin Healey 3000 Mark I. We've had many of them over the years, and one of the good things about the way in which these cars have escalated in value is in the 90s it became viable really to spend the kind of money that was required to do a proper comprehensive restoration on one of these things. They're a complicated body to rebuild, even though the mechanics are pretty much Austin truck mechanicals. The bodies were hard work, and there's a lot of intricate detail in them. So in this era, 1960, cars were being sold in enormous quantities from Britain to North America as a way of earning what was called export dollars. We had a huge lend-lease bill to pay to the United States, and one way of paying the bill was to export a lot of cars and therefore to earn dollars. This model is such a car. Now, whereas in later years things like E-Type, Jaguars, MGBs, lots of cars post about 1966-67, after Ralph Nader's book, actually, Unsafe at Any Speed, there were cars that we produced for America which were a very different specification. So, for example, American E-Types got Stromberg carburetors, and English E-Types got triple SUs. Back in the early 60s, the specification was pretty much just the same. So the technical specification of a 1960 Healey 3000 was the same as a right-hand drive version in terms of its general running gear. So this particular car, which I understand was completed in 2014, has had an absolute fortune spent on the restoration, and it shows. I quite like that, because when the car's been restored for a few years, if there were any compromises in the way the paintwork and restoration was done, they become obvious. This car doesn't have any such compromises, and it's only done little mileage, less than 1,000 miles since it was restored. So I'm going to give you a quick look around it, and then it will be my pleasure to take it for a test drive and describe what it's like, and hopefully you'll be able to hear what it's like too. The body was really well done. It's got absolutely lovely shut lines. As you see, it's got a proper works hardtop. Quite hard to find those, but we understand this was its original specification when new. And again, take a look at the door fit on this. It's great. And it's good in the detail wherever you look. I actually went through all of the invoices in the file, and as you look through it, all the nuts, bolts, washers, screws, fittings, harness, everything you look at has been replaced or renewed in some way, renovated. So it's absolutely gorgeous. I think what I would do if it was my car, I would give it a detailed valet. That's what we would do for every owner, new owner in any case. But I don't think there's anything else you could do to it. It's just absolutely gorgeous. Very good quality leather with the white piping. Quick look in the boot here. Wow, massive battery there, a Yuasa 3000. Really nice headlining on this factory hardtop. And you can see it's got a motor liter steering wheel. The speedometer is showing 748 miles, and we believe that is the mileage since restoration. 4-speed floor change on this model with an overdrive. So I think the next thing to do is take it for a spin. We're now on a national speed limit road. That's 50 miles an hour. And it's lovely to be able to just flick this switch, and there we are, overdrive 4th. I've got no side screens in, so there will be a bit of wind noise, but hopefully you'll hear everything. absolutely. And that's 60, that's the national speed limit. So part of the reason for taking things out on a test drive like this is not just for prospective customers, although that's important, but also so that we can snag the cars and make a decision on what might be needed to improve the car if anything's necessary. Now the only thing that I've picked up, because it drives lovely, is a bit of tyre squeal on corners, and the most likely reason for that is that the actual tracking is not set up correctly, so I'd want to retrack the steering. So I think we've got a little bit of tyre scrub going on there. Temperature's sitting at 180 degrees Fahrenheit, RPM 2000, oil pressure 60 psi. So I'll just slow down and turn around. And have a feel at this second gear synchro, because obviously this is a truck gearbox, they can often be a bit weak. No, that's great, goes into second without a crunch. Now first gear on these is of course a straight cut gear, so you can't go into first without being absolutely stationary. There we are. I'll just check if we pick up a bit of tyre squeal on the bends going back, because that would be fairly definitive. Overdrive top again. The temptation is to go a bit quicker, but of course it's quite a long-legged car. So I think apart from checking the steering tracking and tyre pressures, I think the only thing I'd want to do is probably just tune it a bit. I think it could just do with being a little bit more advanced. But what a lovely machine. The pleasures of big Heeley motoring.